Hello, everyone. Hi. So, today I'm going to be pulling a few cards to see what the full moon has to bring us tomorrow or the day after. It's the day after. Oh, wait. Today's the 29th. That means that Saturn goes direct today. Let's see. Let's check. I've been having some real interesting dreams lately. Haven't really been able to sleep. Like I'm doing that thing where I wake up often. And so the dreams will be real short, but I've been having the same theme pop up in a lot of dreams, and sometimes back to back if I go back to sleep, right? Also, I feel like sleep paralysis is a thing that's been happening in my dreams a lot lately, or fairly frequently, definitely more frequently than they were than it was happening in the past. But in my dreams, I just force myself to get up and move, so just to see if I can. Hmm? So let's check the astrology. Let's check and see where the planets are. But I just wanted to pull a few cards for the full moon Aries just to see what's up. A lot of what I've been hearing, and I haven't been necessarily listening to too much, but it's pretty much been stuff that I've talked about. Venus is, I guess, just had a tight trine with Mars, maybe yesterday. Mars is 25 degrees and 23 minutes Aries. Venus is 26 degrees 21 minutes Leo. So a Venusian degree ago, it would have been trine to Mars. What am I looking for? Saturn. Okay. Oh, Saturn is direct. Look at that, 25 degrees. So Saturn and Mars are squared exactly right now by like 3 minutes. There's a 3 minute difference between um, Mars 2523 Aries and Saturn 2520 Capricorn. But look, Pluto is the only one retrograde, and that goes retrograde on the 4th, or direct. That station's direct on the 4th of October. Y'all see that? Where is it at? They got that little light in there. Oh, yeah, y'all can see. So Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto. Pluto is the only one with the little R next to it. Saturn is direct. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's good, right? Okay. Let's just do this. But yeah, there's the dream space has been interesting. And then I had another interesting dream last night. And then I woke up to a synchronicity of sorts. Okay. How am I gonna do this? I kind of was just gonna pull one card. Also, I was reading somebody's blog post, and he was talking about fairies doing something. I don't remember what the fairies were doing, but as soon as I read the part about fairies, something fell in my closet, and I'm like, I didn't even think anything was positioned to fall up there. Like, ain't nothing ever fell out of my closet before. And at first, I didn't really look, but yesterday, I noticed that it was this bin, and in the bin is I got my favorite book in there. And it was my favorite book when I was in elementary school, if that tells you how much I read. But my favorite book is in there. A few old notebooks are in there. My art books are in there. And I was going to come live and go through some of it, but I was like, yeah, nah. Let's just do the work. The Lovers and the Healer are at the cut. Love that. I don't know why Big Time Rush, I think. Wanna Be Famous just popped into my mind. It was like, wanna be famous. Ooh, the Ten of Wands and the Healer. Yeah, let's heal that too. So, Aries full moon on the 1st of October. Nine of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands. I want a card face down. So, Two of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. The Blind Seer. And I love that it's the Blind Seer in this deck because she is blindfolded, but she doesn't see with her eyes. It's a very High Priestessy type of energy. Or just one who's more in tune with the divine. She can see the unseeable. And sometimes it's like, it reminds me of like whenever there's a training montage of someone who's not blind training with someone who is blind, they'll always like, they'll put on the blindfold. And it's like, for whatever reason, maybe it's an enemy. Well, this will be a real short video. So, the title card just slid out. So, bottom of the deck is the Six of Swords, the Ferryman. Y'all see that? The Ferryman, Six of Swords. That's interesting. So, I mean, this is the Mind Your Business card. This is the Live Life and Find Out card. This is the You Wouldn't Understand If I Told You Right Now Anyway type of card. This is the It's actually more detrimental to know anything right now than it is to go into it blind card, because sometimes it's important for us to make decisions on our own using what we have within us, right? Because it's like, we could know the right decision. Oh, there goes that cup. We could know the right decision, but if we don't know why it's the right decision, then it's not gonna, things aren't gonna work. Sometimes the work that we do is more important than the answer that we get. And whenever this card comes out, for me, that's the case. Now, I am still, okay, that was quick. I'm gonna pull one of these. But yeah, I feel like I've been doing enough. That Aries full moon, sun is in Libra. The sun is in a space of relationships and justice. The moon is in a space of the self and furthering one's own desires and kind of acting on one's impulses. And so maybe it's this like both. Okay, now the sun wants to come in. All right, sun. I guess I can turn this off for a second. Hopefully without, moving the camera. Um, yeah, the sun just came like in. Like that's the only reason why I plugged that thing up. Hopefully without disturbing too much of the piece, we can further our own goals. But also, there is this in-between space, in between the full moon in Pisces and the full moon in Taurus. And I say that because those full moons line up with my natal astrology. The full moon in Pisces, the moon was in my natal degree of the sun, and also Mercury. So like the sun and the moon were opposing the sun and Mercury were opposing my sun and Mercury to the degree. That's why I was like, oh, this is my full moon. This full moon in Pisces is mine. And then the full moon in Taurus is happening really close to my ascendant degree in Taurus. And Uranus is also right there. So we're probably going to have a moon Uranus conjunction. Uranus is in retrograde. I believe it'll still be retrograde on Halloween. I guess I could see, but that's not the point. Well, yeah, I do want to see before I'm like that. I'm pretty sure it's happening really close to my rising degree. Let's see. October 31st. Let's go up to, so the sun is going to be 8 degrees Scorpio. So we're looking, so yeah. Oh, that's like on my rising sign. Oh, and I just happened to get really close to the time. So it'll be somewhere around noon, I think. Um, so yeah, Uranus. Oh, Uranus is gonna be right on top of my ascendant again. I thought it was still like 10 degrees. It's not. Or it won't be. So yeah, this is gonna be happening on top of my rising degree in Taurus, and Uranus is also there. So it's gonna be a Moon Uranus conjunction on top of my ascendant with the Sun opposing it. Mercury is still going to be retrograde. It's going to be back in Libra. Venus will be in Libra too. So Mercury and Venus will be in the same sign um, for a little bit. Anything else interesting? I mean, Pluto will be direct by then. Um, Jupiter will be 21 degrees, Pluto 22 degrees. So that's going to be before another exact Jupiter Pluto conjunction because Jupiter is going to pass Pluto on its way into Aquarius. So, but it's almost this like in between, I guess, is what I'll say. In between, and for me specifically, but since this is my channel, I can use, if y'all haven't noticed, I can borrow from my own experience and timeline to project a little bit, right? Because it's coming to me this way. So, the Aries full moon is this moon in between. Hold up, wait, what degree is this Aries full moon in? It's 1234. 1, 2, 3, 4. If y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Maybe. It's in there. There you go. Oh, it's 12:35 now. Because my Venus is in Aries, but I don't think this is happening late enough in Aries for it to conjunct my Venus. I'm pretty sure it's not actually. It's not. Um, but there's this like this in between type of energy with the full moon in Aries almost being the moment of the shift. It's the moment where we get to begin really pursuing and acting in alignment with our higher calling. And I say our higher calling because Aries, again, it's a very self focused energy. That's why it's opposite Libra, which is the first real interaction with other people on the zodiac wheel, right? Everything from Aries to Virgo is within the self. Aries is the magician, Virgo is the hermit, but then when we get into, well, Gemini is the lovers, but that's our side of that love, right? Because we can't control other people. Excuse me, but then with Libra and Justice, that's when we're starting to balance scales. That's when we're starting to weigh the outside versus the inside. And so it is this further, that's why I say it's our higher purpose, because there is this energy of like furthering our own goals, but it's also to be in balance with everything else and with the world around us. And as long as we're operating in the space of the heart, that should be no big deal, no huge problem. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. And then we'll have full moon in Taurus, which is a blue moon. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I know about blue moons is that it's the second full moon in the same month. When we had 2 new moons in Cancer. I wonder if that means we'll have 2 new moons in Capricorn as well. I think so, but I can't remember. And so yeah, it's really like I've been saying, it's time to like, choose your destiny and all of this other kind of stuff. I think that's another reason why the title card came out, is because that is something that's different for everybody. And with the Six of Swords, it's about knowing that we'll sort of be guided along the way. We don't need to know everything right now. All we need to do is make the choice and decision that we know we need to make in the moment to continue striving and pushing and elevating and growing and to not stop. Because, I mean, I don't want to say, somebody was saying something and I was like, oh, does that mean that timelines are about to split? Please. But with that too, of Pentacles energy, with just like this energy of like being on the bridge and needing to pick a side or ending up in the water when things pull apart, it's kind of sort of that energy. And so this is where we really have the opportunity to begin to act. I mean, we always have the opportunity to begin to act, but it's really full moon in Aries, like it's go time. Like Aries, the moon is there, our emotions, Aries, cardinal, Mars is also there. It's happening far enough away from Mars that Mars actually like isn't really a player, kinda. Especially with this happening, I'm pretty sure it's happening outside of Mars's pre-retrograde shadow as well. Um, because like it's gonna be, what did I say, like 8 degrees, or was that Taurus? Well, the sun is 7 degrees today, so it'll be like 10 or 11 degrees. But Mars is like 25 degrees, so that's like a 14 to 15 degree orb. And usually the common practice is like 10 degrees is that window, and then the closer you get to like 1 or 0 degrees of a difference, the stronger that energy is. So it's like if you go to the same school with somebody, but you're on opposite ends of the building, or if you live in the same town as someone, but you're on opposite ends of the town, and if it's a fairly large town, like Houston, is that one of those cities that it takes like literally hours to get from one end of the city to the other end? Then it's like, yeah, y'all live in the same city, but like y'all might as well not live in the same city if it still takes like over half an hour to an hour to get to the other person's place. Anyway, it's time to begin acting on that stuff. And it was also, I don't know, it's just really interesting, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised by this point. Um, Sometimes I guess we get a little preview, but if it doesn't happen immediately, we get a little like, oh. So the card that came out is an internal truth burning to be seen, the yin side of masculinity, a thrusty yet elegant dance. It is the Six of Spades. An internal truth burning to be seen. And then we have the title card with the Six of Swords. That's feeling like with the Six of Swords, it's like it happened so easy. That's like somebody just let some secret slip. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to say that. I'm so sorry. And then somebody else is like, I can't believe you did that. How could you? It was like, it was an accident. Okay, so it's probably going to be happening at like 9 degrees. So yeah, 9 degrees from 25 degrees. That's a fair amount of degrees away. The full moon in Aries, as compared to Mars in Aries. So yeah, but again, they are still in the same energy. So it's there, but not necessarily extremely prevalent. And Mars retrograde. I mean, in my mind, that just kind of sort of means that Mars retrograde, like the energy will affect it, but that energy is affecting everything anyway. And so it's kind of like still doing its own thing. I don't think it's going to be like exacerbated. But with that full moon in Aries, we are probably going to be wanting to act on these desires. Because that is a scorpionic energy, feminine energy in Aries. With Mars in Aries, the feminine side of Mars is Scorpio, so it sort of calls to the other planet, or to the other sign, I guess, that it rules. And now the sun is coming back. Okay. Must be some clouds outside. I haven't made it outside yet. This was not supposed to be super long. What am I looking at? I don't remember. Oh, the Six of Swords. Let's see. Let's see what that is in the Lenormand. Lenormand. Oh, what? No! No! Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so I guess we're not going to look at the Norman today. Actually, this might be it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so I got to back up. I accidentally made a mistake, I guess. I don't know why it does this like literally every single time. So the Six of Spades is, let's see, shall we? The Tower. Authority, solitude, loneliness, isolation, aloofness, ego, arrogance, neutral, and delay. So this is the Tower. And we have an internal truth burning to be seen. Oof. Yin side of masculinity. Oh, the yin side of masculinity. Yeah, that's Scorpio. Okay, so there's a Scorpio energy here, confirmed by this. And Scorpio is just, it's kind of sort of the place where we bury those things that we don't necessarily tell people about. It's everything that lies behind closed doors, while Aries is everything like how we project ourselves and maneuver ourselves in the public. And so also there's this other energy. I lost it. Scorpio could also be Mars's softer side at the same time. Now it's still Mars, so don't expect, I don't know, petunias and begonias. But it can be a little bit of the softer side, or the side that it doesn't like to show, or just the side that's not seen, right? Scorpio is an energy of transformation. This is a card of the Tower. So it almost feels like it's an opportunity for us to go in and dismantle this tower instead of waiting for it to come crashing down, right? It's like if we already know that it doesn't pass inspection, then let's evacuate the building, let's stop using it, and let's see if we can, like, from the outside, take another look and see what's going down. Maybe you go back to the blueprint and you're like, well, like, this is the layout for how this building was constructed. Can we see anything in the blueprint that would tell us why this isn't sturdy or stable, right? A lot of that stuff, though, you probably want to do outside of the tower. You probably don't want to do inside the tower because you don't want to be, like, in the tower when it goes down. And sometimes you can't avoid it. But then we also have this thrusty yet elegant dance, which I don't even remember why I did that. But it's something that looks kind of sort of, it's like you can tell that the desire is there. And you, like, if no one else was on the dance floor, they'd be going at it. You can tell that that energy is there, but it's also very, like, composed and put together. It's this both. So it's the energy of Aries and Scorpio sort of coexisting in a way. And I also wonder if Mars retrograde in Aries brings out a little bit more of that scorpionic energy as well. The other influence of Aries, right? And I've been wondering that for a while. Like, if a planet goes retrograde in a sign, does it pick up some energy of its counterpart? Right? Like when Mercury goes retrograde in Scorpio, does that bring out some Aries energy since Aries is the masculine side of Scorpio? Everything retrograde in Capricorn. Oh, maybe because feelings have been huge, so everything's taken on this more. No, because Capricorn would be Aquarius, so never mind. I was thinking Cancer for some reason. So it would be this Aquarian energy. Excuse me. We had the opportunity for that to look at, like, how certain things impact the greater collective outside of our little sphere. But I don't know if we did it. Bottom of the deck over here is the Jack of Diamonds. A full recognition of the self that has yet to be realized, being spurred into action, and aligning the bodies. Okay, so yeah, I like that. And maybe that's the part that the Pisces full moon played, is when we do have these more subtle realms and these deeper realms illuminated within ourselves. And now with this Aries full moon, it's like it's time to do something with that information. The Jack of Diamonds is the Scythe. Accidents, hasty decisions, danger, a warning, speed, reckoning, negative, and suddenly. So we have the Tower and the Scythe. And I was talking about scorpionic energy. The Reaper also carries a scythe. So there is this, like, Tower, death, transformation, rebirth energy going on, happening. But the thing about the Scythe is it's quick, right? And it's designed to be that way, right? The Scythe isn't a sword where it takes time It's not anything else. It's like one swing and all of the wheat just like falls. You can harvest anything very rapidly. And that's another thing about the scythe as well. It's like we look at it as the main tool of death, but it's used for harvesting. It's used for reaping. And in the space of Aries, it's like this is something that we do. We take the initiative and we do something with that and we go out and we make it happen. The tower in the Lenormand isn't necessarily the tower in the tarot. The tower in Lenormand is it's like the tower. It's about the structure. This sun is coming in and out. All right, I guess that's all I got. It's I mean again, like I've been saying, it's time to move. So we'll go to final message since I did use these. I'm kind of pushing it because that title card came out. I think the title card I've seen it recently as well. It came out for Taurus and the Libra reading on the Legacy channel with the Ace of Cups. Final message, please. I was productive yesterday. I finally did this thing I've been putting off, kind of sort of putting off. I'll just take these. And I mean, like, I had to end up contacting the people anyway, and I did the contacting first, but it took so much less time than I thought it was going to take. I was like, what, that's it? The cards that came out, the King of Hearts and the Seven of Spades. So, the Seven of Spades is taking the plunge into an ice cold bath, dissolution of the self, integration, and separation. And I love this because we just had a full realization of the self, or a full recognition of the self that has yet to be realized. Now, the recognition is when we know it within ourselves, but the realization is when we come into the space of being it. And there's a difference between knowing that you're something and knowing that you deserve this and knowing that you deserve that, and actually acting in alignment with that knowing to bring in what it is that is for you. Right? So it's the time for realizing. A decision that once made cannot be rescinded. A wise king who settles an impossible dispute, operating in divine order, is the King of Hearts. Now, I've seen this one a few times. And I guess I have been feeling it's like I feel like we're really coming upon some of the things that will set us up for the rest of our lives, or at least over on this channel, and maybe the legacy one as well. But over here, it's been a message of like, there is a really, really, really important decision coming up. And then we have the title card right here. So maybe it's within the month of October, basically, because the whole full moon cycle is from the 1st to the 31st. And that's why this title card came up, just because it really has the ability to shape the rest of our lives in some way. And it may not necessarily be that extreme, but it's like, if you have a life altering opportunity and you don't take it, that's like a different timeline, if you will, that you could have experienced, but for whatever reason you decide not to go after it. And so that's the whole life that you could have had, a whole realm of potential, a whole branch off of your reality that you don't even take. And opportunity is not a lengthy visitor, and it doesn't always come multiple times, right? It's like the FedEx man when or the UPS or whoever, when you're like, you literally stay home or you make sure you're in the house to get this package because it's really important and you have to sign for it, and you've been waiting a while for it, but you have to sign for it. And so since you have to sign for it, you're gonna be home and you're not gonna miss it. And then it's like, you wait around the house all day, available, listening out, even looking out because you don't want to miss it. And then you get like a notification, or the end of the day comes and you're like, it was supposed to be delivered today. Like, what happened? And then you check the tracking number, and it's like we made a delivery attempt, but no one was there. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, I was here literally all day. Like, I literally cleared my schedule for this because I know I have to sign for it, and it's very important that I had this today. What do you mean? Like, I didn't hear a doorbell ring. I didn't hear a truck. I didn't hear nothing. When did y'all come? Like, hello? And it reminds me of like one time I was getting something from the USPS and the mail ran, but I guess the package and the mail were in separate things. I think it was these cards actually. I think it was these. And it ended up raining like really hard. And I'm still looking out for my cards and they didn't come. And then I got the email or I checked the tracking and it was like a delivery attempt was made. We'll come back the next business day. I was like, y'all ain't come. I thought it was rain or slow or sleet or hail. Y'all will always deliver the mail, but I guess it ain't mail. It's a package. So they was like, F that. I ain't getting wet today. He can wait. But anyway, it is kind of sort of that energy. Except I don't think that this is necessarily something that we're waiting for because taking the plunge, that's something that we do. A decision that once made cannot be rescinded. That's something that we do. Operating in divine order, that's something that we do. And I feel like there are a few flavors of divine timing. I feel like there is the flavor. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Hearts. Look, the King of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts at the bottom, with the Five of Hearts under it, but we ain't see that. A candle burning on both ends, inversion, a revelation of self, and accountability. Excuse me, we have a revelation of self, the dissolution of the self. We had a full recognition of the self that has yet to be realized. And then we have this decision that needs to be made, a verdict that needs to be issued, and like the proper way of doing something. Inversion, that could literally be our whole life turning upside down. And I don't want to be, too hyperbolic, but it honestly feels like we have those types of choices coming our way. And like I was feeling before, like when this wheel of fortune really turns, it feels like these wheels of fortune are going to be turning for a lot of people. But what's going to determine whether it turns in our favor or not is if we make the decision that all of the healing and all of the growth was preparing us to make. Like if you did the work, it's going to be a lot easier to take that leap of faith and to step off of the ledge even when you don't know that you're going to be caught, because like you do know, but even though there's nothing proving that you're going to be caught, right? So let's get into this. What do we have? The King and the Queen of Hearts and the Seven of Spades. So we'll start with the King of Hearts. King of Hearts. Come on, calm now. Thank you. The King of Hearts is the house. The Queen of Hearts is the stork. And the Seven of Spades is the letter. So we have the house, the letter, and the stork. So the letter announces the arrival of the thing before the stork delivers the baby. But instead of that, it's almost like the letter gets sent out to the storks and then the stork delivers the baby. And I talked over here in the court of air about how we need to give all of the stuff that we desire to spirit and allow spirit to deliver us, or to deliver to us the thing, so that we're not attaching qualities with specific situations that may or may not deserve to come back into our lives. And it's time to get real clear on what it is that we want in our lives, and it's time to begin moving in that direction, because I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's going to necessarily too much just happen. What's at the top of the deck? Ten of Cups is at the top of the deck. And it all starts with the one cup. And then over time we get more and more and more and more cups. This is the building and the fleshing out of a new timeline that we have to take. With the Seeker, And the Two of Cups, I only looked at the Two of Cups because when I picked it up to cut it, the Secret in the Two of Cups is right there with the Six of Swords. It's like, I don't know. It's all available, but we got to do something. You gotta risk it if you want the biscuit. Oh, the Secret and the Empress. Oh, oh. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. The Ten of Cups again with the Seeker. The Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Like, that's the whole new world. That's the whole new experience. It's the new timeline. It's And then the Magician with the Ace of Pentacles. So that's the last cut we're gonna do. We're gonna ask for a final message. Those were all such beautiful cards that came out at the cut, and I feel like it really is getting to the place in a space where it's all available. And at least the way I've been feeling the Ten of Cups in this deck is like it's not all gonna happen at once, right? We show up day by day, moment by moment, second by second when we need to, and we just live life, and we continue to try to be the best that we can, and we continue to live in the moment, and we continue to be thankful and grateful and appreciative and enjoy it, and savor it and things like that. And so I don't know, it's not like 25 years of your life are all of a sudden going to happen in like a split second just because you make one decision. It's okay to take that step. It's okay to leap. I mean, a leap is a leap is a leap, but right, we ain't necessarily being asked to fly right now. You only know that you've been flying when you look back and you're like, I don't think I ever touched the ground. Like, I think it's been leap after leap after leap after leap, and after that first leap, I never touched the ground. So I guess I've just been flying this whole time. Okay, final message, please. This is fun. I like it. Not everyone is necessarily going to get it, but I feel like more people are going to have the opportunity to get it than who actually take it. And at the end of the day, we all make our own choices and decisions, and those choices and decisions have repercussions, consequences, and everything else. But just because we've made certain choices in the past doesn't mean that we have to sort of live out the rest of our lives in those cycles. Depending on the choices you make, I guess. There are some things, if you get life, you got life. And if you get multiple life sentences, I don't know if you're getting out of that one. You probably did something real bad to get multiple life sentences. But, sometimes you get parole. Sometimes you get a slap on the wrist. Sometimes all you got to do is, sometimes you get let out on good behavior. Thank you. Oh, the title card came back out. Bottom of the deck. I love it. New World Order, which is the World card. Saturnian energy. We see all of the fixed signs. Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius. Top of the deck, because I'm curious, is the Three of Wands, politic. The Three of Wands in this deck is a card of prophecy. And then we have the Queen of Swords, the Scarlet Shield with the title card that came out. The Queen of Swords is the guardian of the unformed lands. But the unformed lands sit right on the opposite side of the formed lands. So she's like the last thing that things see before they become physical. She's what releases them. There's like this outpost. So there is this little stretch of land in between the two kingdoms. Or there's like this limbo space because things are released from the unformed lands. This queen stands on both sides, right? She guards it, both the entrance and the exit. So she also guards the entrance to this, but we're talking about the exit. And so she stands guard at the exit of the unformed lands, and she releases things to the Ebony Shield, the Queen of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Pentacles gets to determine also if those things are permitted entry into the formed lands. So there are sort of two checkpoints that things have to cross before they come into our physical experience. They have to be released from the mental, imaginary space. and then they have to be accepted into the physical space. And again, at the bottom of the deck is this New World Order. So it seems like everything has been backlogged for whatever reason. And depending on how we navigate, because it's like with these queens, you kind of sort of got to prove yourself. You got to prove that you're ready for it, because, you know, Spirit isn't going to give you anything that you're not ready for. And so, oop, there's that bottle of water, empty. And so, oh, what was I about to say? I don't remember. I feel like I'm just going to keep reiterating the same thing over and over and over. So, yeah, it's time to start acting. And it's time to start doing. It's time to start making those decisions. It's time to start trusting your intuition. It's time to start leaping. It's time to start living in all of the truths that we've had the opportunity to experience. Also knowing that not everything is necessarily going to come to us, but sometimes, well, I was talking about how we have to prove ourselves to these queens through the space of our decisions and actions. But sometimes it's like the Queen of Swords will give you the letter. She will deliver the letter to your house that will tell you where to meet the stork. Right, maybe you live in an area where there's a bunch of like wind turbines and solar panels, and so the stork is like, well, if the wind turbines don't get me, then the solar panels will cook me. So, and I'm carrying like a baby, so that there's like two things I got to worry about. So, I'm gonna have you meet me over here. It's just like with, I think, was it Domino's or Papa John's? I don't remember. One of them like started setting up like these pizza pickup spots where you can meet the delivery driver and pick up your pizza. It's like that. For whatever reason, you can't get what it is that you want in the space that you're in. So the Queen of Swords will direct you to the location of the Queen of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Pentacles, once you reach her, she will release it to you. Sometimes we hold the desires that we wish to manifest, and then Spirit will lead us and guide us towards making that happen. And sometimes we take one action, and I've discovered this a lot lately. Sometimes we take one action or we pursue one thing that we know is for us or that we believe is for us. And we can be met on that path, or we can start getting opportunities from completely different directions. And that's why, like, it doesn't necessarily matter that you go in the direction that it is that you're ultimately supposed to go, because the correct thing will always find you as long as you're moving. Sometimes it can't reach you in the area, right? Sometimes you're outside of the delivery radius. And depending on how bad you want the food, and you know, maybe you'll meet somebody within the radius. I don't know. So that's what I got. I hope everyone has a good whatever whenever y'all see this. I'm living the productive day, so you know, whether I like it or not, I am appreciative of this opportunity for me to prove to myself how much I can actually do this, even though if I were on the clock, the money would be enough of a motivator for me to actually do this. So I am excited to prove to myself and to wrap this up. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope, again, y'all have a good whatever whenever y'all see this. I hope y'all are acting in alignment to make the good better and the better great and miraculous and fantastic and wonderful and everything that you want it to be. I really feel like we're coming into these pivotal moments when we have the opportunity to begin pursuing some of these things. And it's just like it's time to step up and it's time to rise to the occasion. It's time to leave our egos behind. And like there's a healthy amount of ego to have, but it's time to stop allowing our ego and our past and our anxiety over the future to dictate and determine basically our lives, right? When we allow stuff like that to keep us from making these life altering decisions and taking these opportunities and like acting in alignment with the things that will lead to them, like, you know, I don't know, we don't have to do that anymore. I mean, like, low key, we never had to do that, but also on a lower key or a slightly higher key, like, that was the energy in the space that we were in, right? But it's like this year it's a year of teaching us that we can do better, and we don't have to necessarily do that. So I hope y'all are fantastic. Like I said, I'm a little tired if you can't tell, but we got work to do. We got work to do. I'm gonna go outside. Usually when I go outside, it re-energizes me. So yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. Happy full moon in Aries when it comes around. I hope you begin to act because there's a lot of stuff just kind of sort of floating in that limbo space, in that in between the unformed and the formed, just waiting to be welcomed into your life. But sometimes you have to have room for the space as well. You have to have space for the things or room for the things as well. You have to have room for the space. I guess, yeah, because it could be a whole new space that you're coming into that you need to have room for. You not having room for a space, could you be overly attached to your past, overly anxious about the future? Just like you don't have any space for any mental space for a new experience, for a new way of thinking, a new way of operating, a new way of being, for allowing old patterns to be disrupted and debunked and then replaced, right? And again, like everything takes time. It's not all going to happen at once. And if you need to take it a little bit slower, then communicate that and let that be known, right? It's like you can leap into this whole new area, but you don't necessarily have to like hit the ground running when you get in there. You can get adjusted a little bit. You just leapt. You can, you know. Anyway, we'll find out. We'll find out. Just make act in your highest good, okay? Don't allow the negativity to keep you from doing things that you know are blessings for you. Also practice discernment and use your intuition more than anything. So